Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
I mean, it kind of started with Ian, and that's what we also talked at halftime. And, not to take anything away from anybody else, but the way he crashes the boards, it's kind of inspiring. Hopefully that he can inspire his teammates. And then, there was a couple times in the second half where Sharman's getting up and Braylon and stuff like that.
Well, I'd done it some in practice, and then I saw a clear path, and I wasn't going to waste opportunity. It felt great. I've done it in practice a few times, but nothing like that.
It sure has. I think our length of our guards really gave them some fits. Kinsey and Kyra and Sadie's, they're kind of hard to throw over.
Everybody's kind of been talking about me getting those stats at some point this year, so I mean it was on everybody's radar. Be a part of the crowd that is the 10,000 crew. Gates, Witten, Gonzalez. Who am I forgetting? Shannon Sharp, man. The Bronco himself, man.
I think he truly was one of the most brilliant innovators in the history of the game. The imprint of his offense is seen not only in college football, but obviously in the NFL.
I remember when Bryce Harper signed with the Phillies, he talked about how this feels like a marriage. This is me joining their family. Well, this is a marriage proposal from the San Francisco Giants to Carlos Correa, and tonight, late, he said yes.
They have been better since being punched in the face against Saudi Arabia. They've been fantastic with the pressure on them, knowing that this is more than likely Messi's last World Cup, and they have delivered.
How do they go on with such pressure, knowing it's Messi's last year? Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Steve Webster with you here for the Wednesday Sports Day show. Joined by Mike Corson. He's back. We're whole again until tomorrow when Hesh is gone. I'd tell you where he's going, but it'd make people uncomfortable. So we're all together for one good day. Oh, and one of the sounds the past 24 hours or so, I was distracted and never got to it. The call on WJFK is Alex Ovechkin scored a goal assisted by Anthony Mantha. The Capitals beat the Blackhawks 7-3. The 800th goal. Look at that.
I knew that.
You probably turned over to that after, the World Cup 6-hour postgame show.
Post show's great, man. Stay tuned for the midnight show.
Oh, boy, we're having fun today. Good show lined up. Okay, we have Great Bend Lady Panther basketball coach Cindy Beck is going to be in. Also, Sadie Spray. We will talk with Kansas Pregame Magazine publisher John Baetz, talking about the winter basketball and wrestling edition that is now available at select locations across Kansas and here in Great Bend. You can get it at Advanced Therapy and Sports Medicine, the Field House in Great Bend, also your local Pizza Huts. So John will be on here, and then we'll wrap up the show talking with Gerard Wellbrock, the voice of the Fort Hays State Tigers. Okay, so that's on the show. You guys ready to go here? All right, let's get rolling here. Kyle Cree, head coach of the Great Bend Panthers, talking about their offensive rebounding last night, specifically Ian Kramer. They out-rebounded Larned last night 43-15.
Ooh.
Had 22 offensive rebounds in their 60-33 win, ended in a running clock. Great Bend pretty much taking care of the Indians last night. And, yeah, they got in the second quarter, and if they missed the shot, then they got the shot, and then they made the shot. That was the whole second quarter. Ian Kramer talking about his, can you call it a tomahawk dunk anymore, or is it like you've got to say?
It's a Native American dunk.
Okay,
I don't know.
Okay, but he had one. He pulled it back and threw it down. Almost had his first career double-double, 8 points, 10 rebounds last night. Said, yeah, I worked on it in practice. That felt good. I don't know what it feels like. I've dunked before, but it was on a mini tramp.
I was going to say it was on a short goal. I wouldn't know what that's like.
Well, sure, yeah.
In a game, yeah.
I can tell you this the net's very soft.
I would say an 8-foot goal, but I think the stuff ball goal we had on our house in Pratt was about 7'6".
Okay.
Yeah, that made for that way you could dunk with two hands that way. Bill Maddie, got to talk with him last night on the post-game show, talking about the Lady Panthers, their spurtability. They went on a 9-0 run to start the second quarter. I'm telling you what, the Larned girls are the most improved high school girls basketball program around. They just are. I gave Lady Panthers a decent game last night. Hung around. They kind of made the score look a little bit better there at the end. But Jared Smith's done a great job with it.
Kind of thought he was going to do that when he took over. It was kind of exciting. They'd been down in the dumps for so long, and he had some good things going with the boys. It was kind of a funny switch, but he gets them going, so I figured he would do the same thing with the girls.
Yeah, they're doing some nice things last night. So the Panthers, they're home Friday night, take on Emporia. The Spartans come in. Girls ranked number 3 in the state. The boys are still unbeaten as well, but not ranked this week. Okay, other scores from last night. Area scores. Mike Hesher, you were at Hoisington last night. The Sterling Black Bears beating the Cards in the boys' game. Girls defeated Sterling 45-22. It's really weird to see a Sterling girls basketball team struggling because they haven't done it for a decade. And 1 loss, 1 win.
Yep, and the Hoisington, the girls, they have had 5 games now. They've had 4 different leading scorers. And I think that's very good for the Lady Cardinals because how often do you see that? Addie Mason led 1 time. I think she's led twice, and then I'm going to forget some names now. I shouldn't have gone.
You watched the whole game, so you started your truck down this muddy road. And
Mallory Mooney, Jordan Moxberger, and then the sophomore. What's her name?
I got to listen to your broadcast. Anna pass to what's her name on the left wing, and the shot goes up, and it's nothing but the bottom of the drain. There it is.
I miss Monday.
Ellie Mae Crawford, as Blake calls her. It's Ellie Crawford. I cannot call her Ellie Mae. I'm sorry.
Blake said that's her middle name.
I realize that, but he knows her from way back. I don't. Ellie Crawford was the 4th one. Okay. She had 12 last night to lead the way.
Really? That's positive news, sir.
They got some freshmen and a sophomore that are I think they're gonna be decent the next 4 or 5 years.
I missed Monday's show, so I didn't get to drop it, but I called Addie Mason going off on 3-pointers in the Katy Classic. It's what she does. I go over there and watch 1 quarter, and she hits 4 threes.
So you don't listen when you're not here?
Got stuff going. I'm usually somewhere else.
Well, they're playing her. They're playing her differently now defensively. She's gotten like 2 shots, 3-pointers off the past 2 games. They're face guarding her. She's not getting anything.
I do get this phone call now. You better turn on the radio and listen to Steve. He says things are getting freaky.
Is that your phone or mine?
That's mine.
Okay. Is it that 1-866 number keeps calling here?
Has to do with my adventure tomorrow.
Other scores. We'll get into that in the final segment today. Get out of my yard. Ellenwood boys stayed unbeaten last night, beat El Saline 65-51. The girls, according to the Associated Press, the Ellenwood girls got beat by 1, but according to the Max Preps Ellenwood page, they won by 1. So I've got both bases covered.
I know Dutton dropped 40 on the boys' game.
That's all?
I believe that's the season high. It's early.
Okay.
It was an off night for him, right?
He's got all those teammates.
Okay, and Central Plains boys over St. John, 51-39. Central Plains girls beat St. John 45-35. Lacrosse boys, 59. Dighton 47. Lacrosse girls 43. Dighton 28. Hutch Central Christian. Their girls are ranked this week. They beat Maxville 55-43. No problem for the Mustang boys, though. They beat Central 65-28. And Pawnee Heights, where are they ranked? They're 4th in 1A Division II, I believe. 52-33. Yes, they won. And Pawnee Heights girls over Western Plains 47-27. Travis Kelsey couldn't remember Shannon Sharp's name. The guy who was, trying to be one of the 7 players, or he's the first in history to record 7 straight 1,000-yard season, became the 5th tight end to top 10,000 yards. So a funny, lighthearted moment for Travis Kelsey.
We have more information on Shannon Sharp coming up later.
Okay. Hesh has gone into the research. I'm impressed with this. Paul Feinbaum on the contributions to college football from Mike Leach, who passed away yesterday at the age of 61. Jeff Passan. Carlos Correa's contract is like Bryce Harper's. There's a lot of good shortstops out there. I don't know if you have to give him $350 million to go play for the San Francisco Giants. There's no opt-out in this, and there's and it's not a no trade deadline. I mean, he's married to the Giants.
For me, the one thing is the money is one thing. It's the length of these contracts. I mean, they're all double digit, 10 years, 11 years.
He didn't have a great year with Minnesota, but 291, 22 home runs, and 64 RBIs. Now, you hit 30 home runs in San Francisco. That's going to be a heck of a deal there. But, man, that's a lot of money.
You're playing indoors for a lot of the time. You got the short porches in Houston.
Yeah.
And you're going to go play in the Bay with that weather. It's a different ball game.
$350 million 13-year contract.
It's the years for me. That's crazy.
And here he is, the hero, Taylor Twellman, ESPN soccer analyst. Argentina's run in a possible matchup with France, who is playing today at 1 o'clock, I believe.
Yes.
Against Morocco.
Do it again.
Morocco.
Yes.
I'm pulling for Morocco, but that'd be a better game, Spain and France. Or
we're not going to break it down. Argentina won yesterday over Croatia.
Right.
So after Croatia's got beat, then I'm out. 3-0.
Watch the little flea, Messi. He hasn't performed in World Cups before. He's actually been sensational.
Okay, here's the conversation. Okay, here's the conversations that Mike Corson and me have to be. He came in and I said, well, once the U.S. got out, it was the interest's over for me. And he said, oh, no. I said, you watch it for the sports value, right? And he said, yeah. And then I said, I bet you had an ant farm growing up. You just sit there in front of the things and watch ants crawl around. And
what he didn't do was explain a correlation. But what I also had was a 13-inch black and white TV with the busted knob I watched the 1994 World Cup on while I was feeding my ants.
Okay, so did you have to use the pliers to
absolutely
to turn the knob?
Like first year.
Oh yes.
Did you have tin foil on the antenna?
It was probably we don't have whatever the stations. We didn't have all these options. There wasn't on FS1 back then.
KSN, I'm sure.
See, you're too young to remember. It wasn't like me, hey boy, go out there and turn that antenna toward KSN. Well, Dad, I don't. It had a big knob on it. You had to turn the whole antenna on the side of the house. I mean, it was so hard to do. You would actually move the house to turn the antenna around so you could get the TV station. No one remembers that today. So anyway, there you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so. Leading us to the always popular Mike Hesher.
Do I get
Wednesday sports headlines?
Do I get walk-up?
I think we do. I think we knew.
Okay.
We need to add this. Okay.
Good news for a couple Panther coaches. Lyle Lashley, the king of gumbo from the Cajun, right? Cajun gumbo.
Let's go with world famous Cajun.
Okay, is that what it was?
Okay.
He was named the 5A Girls Track Coach of the Year, while Bill Maddie, who we mentioned earlier, was named the assistant coach for the jumps in track. And then Lashley led the Panthers to a runner-up finish in the 2022 5A state track meet. Maddie had two jumpers, Valerie Luna and Sadie Spray. They finished second and third in the state meet, respectively.
Congratulations, guys.
Yes. Last night, Wichita State defeated Mississippi Valley State by a score of 71-48 in the Air Capital.
You know what world famous NFL wide receiver played at Mississippi Valley State? I bet you do.
Jerry Rice.
Yeah, see, he's right on it. I forgot he's an old guy like me.
I was going to say,
he'd remember old things.
I can't remember what I had for breakfast, but that's okay. And then the Royals signed free agent left-hander Ryan Yarborough to a one-year contract after spending the past 5 years with Tampa Bay. And more importantly for me, last night they had a meeting about the downtown stadium and the district around Kansas City.
And what they say? Was it a riot or was it?
Well, there are some people upset. They're going to spend $2 billion, $1 billion on the stadium and $1 billion on the district if it goes through.
Who is?
Well, it'll be the Royals will have some of it, and there will be some asking for some civic money from the community.
Okay, is downtown Kansas City, is that Jackson County or is that a different?
It's pretty much Jackson County, yes.
Okay.
They're not going over to Wyandotte or to Johnson County. So. Okay.
Well, that'd put them in Kansas, according to.
Well, I realize that. Okay. That's at least the way it used to work. These were today rankings. Is that correct?
They came out yesterday.
Okay. As you mentioned earlier, the big one on the girls' side, Emporia is ranked third in 5A. They take on Great Bend this Friday night. That'll be interesting. Liberals ranked fifth in 6A girls. And let's see. 2A girl. No, this is 1A girls. I'm really prepared for this.
Well,
aren't
that's
I?
okay.
Little River is 1, Hodgman County is 4, and Central Plains is 5. That is the 1A Division 1 girls. Excuse me. It was a long night last night. And then on the boys' side, not a lot of boys ranked in the area, as Maxville is 3 in 1A Division 1 boys.
Maxville,
they lost a spot, and they are undefeated.
Yeah.
How's that?
Treating them like KU.
Okay. Little River 7, and Pawnee Heights is 4th. So that's the way that goes.
Okay, and yesterday...
I went off on Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah.
No, it was on Mitch. It was on Mitch Holtis.
Yeah, you just on the Get Out of My Yard segment, Hesh had issues with Mitch Holtis saying Isaiah Pacheco was the best 7th-round pick in the history of the NFL.
Well, I found a couple that I would consider a little bit better. We talked about Shannon Sharp. He would be number 1 for me.
He was a 7th-round pick?
He was a 7th-round pick, that according to the Google machine, which doesn't mean it's right. But he set records for receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. He played on 3 Super Bowl championship teams and was selected to 8 Pro Bowls. So Pacheco's got a little bit ways to go.
Did he go right to Denver?
Yes.
Okay.
And then there was also... Adam Timmerman was also on that 7th-round pick.
Who's Adam Timmerman? He's an offensive lineman, isn't he?
Well, yes.
The Vikings?
Vikings, yes.
Was he a center?
Okay.
You can't count offensive linemen. That's where they always get picked.
Okay, well, then I had a couple others. Then you're really going to be upset with this one. Gary Anderson, the kicker, was a 7th-round draft choice. And then Donald Driver, a receiver for the Packers, was also a 7th-round.
Very useful player.
Yes,
right.
he was.
And I would say his career stats are better than Isaiah Pacheco's after
10 games or 11 games, how many they were played. And then there's that one name that I'm not even going to try. TJ Hushmanzada? Was that how they pronounce that? He played for the Bengals for a while?
Yeah, but where's Bengals, man? Now I
was going to say, we need Bengals.
Have him called in on Trading
Post tomorrow, and he can get the correct pronunciation of his name.
Yeah, he can do that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. The one and only. Yeah, we will get you a.
And just make sure it's full of mistakes, like the way I do the news or the sports.
Well, let me look here. Let me see here real quick.
You got to do me Rocky Mountain High?
No.
Oh God.
And yes, Mike Corson.
So Shannon Sharp goes into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Can they take away his jacket if he joins a terrible sports radio show?
Well,
they're awful.
Well, that's his yellow jacket. You can't just take it away.
You don't like Skip Bayless?
Hot take, hot take. I get paid a lot of money.
Just a hot take. Okay, coming up, we've got we're loaded down here today. Cindy Beck, Sadie Spray coming in and talk Great Bend Panther basketball next here on Sports Day on KVGB.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
There's nothing like A-STEM therapy. This is Tim Marcus from Progressive Physical Therapy in Hayes. Research shows A-STEM therapy improves muscle performance and neural functioning. It's highly effective for those dealing with tennis elbow, carpal tunnel, sports injuries, and general aches and pains.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Learn the skills you need to get started in a new career in as little as 1 semester with Barton Community College's workforce training programs. Get real-world experience in fields like carpentry, natural gas, plumbing, scales tech, and welding. You can earn money while you go to school because most classes leave you with plenty of time for a part-time job or apprenticeship. Classes begin January 10th. Sign up today and start your new career. Visit GoBarton.com to get started.
To be the king of the road, you have to fill with the king of diesels. We're talking about Cenex Premium Diesel. It comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn. Cenex Roadmaster XL even cleans up and prevents injector fouling to keep your trucks out of the shop and on the road. And typical number 2 diesel? That's always an option. The wrong option. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
Contact American Plains Co-op in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today. Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Well, you could start counting the hours instead of the days until we give away the Shop at Home for the Holidays $10,000 shopping spree. It's presented by Bauer Computers and Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryant dealer. And Dawson Jewelers, that's the only place you can be a finalist today. So stop on out Lakin and Maine. Get there before 5 o'clock today. And I tell you what, do a little Christmas shopping while you're there, scanning that QR code. They've got all of their Christmas merchandise in. They just got some brand new items in as well. Markdowns for Christmas are in place, and they have beautiful, beautiful jewelry that is going to make a fantastic gift, whether especially someone needs a pendant, some color stone jewelry, some diamond stud earrings, diamond rings, and I tell you what, you can find up to 40% savings. So stop out to Dawson Jewelers and get yourself signed up for the Shop at Home for the Holidays $10,000 shopping spree. It's presented by Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, and Bauer Computers. Giveaway day is this Friday, so don't miss your opportunity today.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Mike Corson scrambling around with varsity Lady Panther coach Cindy Beck. Today we're trying to get Sadie Spray in here. So, Cindy, we got all kinds of good news since we last talked last week. Busy week.
Yes, it has. It's been a very busy week. You know, I think I've been functioning at home and school and work and all those things with basketball, and you kind of try to take it day by day. But in the same sense, it's been a crazy last 5-6 days for both us in basketball and just in the school year. You know, I think right now is a busy time for everybody, and trying to wrap up the school year while we're also trying to go win some basketball games. So it's been a little bit of challenge on that side, on the mental side of it too.
Back-to-back 7-win seasons to start your coaching career, but now you are 4-1, just 5 games in, but big tests coming up against a highly ranked Emporia team. Kind of how's the mindset going into that game?
You know, that's a big thing for us. I think that the start of a 4-1 start has been a good thing for us, hopefully gaining some confidence. You know, with the season we have, and you have to always kind of look one game at a time. And so on Friday we have a big test coming at us Friday with Emporia. You know, they're a state-ranked team. They're a team that was in the state tournament last year. They're just a tough-nosed team with some competitive kids. So it's going to be one of those games we're going to really have to come out and put our full force in, and it's going to have to be for 4 quarters, which is something that we've struggled with a little bit this year, is putting together 4 quarters. But, you know, for us, I look at it as we are 4-1. We've found ways to win, because I do have girls that'll compete, and that's what they want in the big scheme of things, is they want to go find a way to win. And some of ours haven't always been pretty or our best games, but, you know, at this point in the season, playing our best basketball isn't necessarily what we want. We want that to continue to improve as we move through the year and get better.
And so you guys were competing with Baker Mayfield's return on Thursday, so I turned you on for a little bit, but once second half or whatever it was, you guys pushed the lead up to 30. How big was it to start that tournament off with kind of a route like that?
You know, that's a big confidence boost, first off, in your team, and just seeing us kind of work together and play together. The other side of it was trying to get a little bit of a chance to rest some girls. You know, we were the team in the tournament. There's 2 of us at the Kingman tournament that are playing that Thursday, Friday, Saturday games, which can be a lot on your body as well. So it was kind of a nice chance to get some other kids on the floor, give us a little bit of juice in that sense. But, you know, that's a team you just never know. They're coming from a great program. You know, Sterling's had some very successful years, a well-coached team overall. And so we knew they were going to come out, and we just wanted to show our pressure and kind of play our game. And I thought we did a nice job of that, coming out to compete against them and kind of put our pressure to work.
And Friday beat Sunrise. And then
Conway Springs on Friday. Yep. We played Conway Springs Friday, and that was probably a little bit more of that mental test for us. Overall, I felt like it was kind of a tough game to get into your stride. But again, you know, we just competed each set, each time down the floor, and kind of found a way to battle through it and get a win overall, which is all we were kind of looking to do, was get to that championship game on Saturday.
And Tuesday night, Larned, so a little bit improved there. So they gave you guys at least a run for your money this time. How kind of fun to see them on the up.
They are. Larna's is a good program. They're a program that continues to improve every year. Coach Smith over there is doing a nice job with those girls. They get up and guard well. Their man-to-man defense is a very competitive thing. I thought it was one of those deals. We went on little runs through the night that kind of kept us in the lead. I think at the end of the first quarter was 8-8. Then we had a good, strong run in the beginning of that third quarter that kind of spreaded it out a little bit more. And which is what we like to do, kind of get teams off rhythm a little bit, and we went and got a couple layups here and there. Overall, they kept challenging us on the offensive end, trying to knock down some of those outside shots. And one of these days, they're going to start to fall for us. But we did what we had to do and got the win.
Talking to Great Bend High School Lady Panther basketball coach Cindy Beck. Sadie coming in?
She is. She's on her way. Yeah, she's on her way. I said,
keep biding our time.
Okay.
So the other big name I had for you was Emily Hall. 7 points a night, team high 5.4 rebounds a night. A name maybe I was unfamiliar with coming into the season, so how big has she been for you?
Emily is a side of the game that she's considered our post player, a 5'7", 5'8" player. But Emily brings so much to the court outside of what you see really in the box score. She's one of our best communicators, and we ask a lot out of her on the defensive end. She's going to have to guard some really good post players, not only undersized, but some of those kids are very athletic and strong kids, and she always goes head-to-head with them down in there. She's a very smart basketball player. She kind of can run the court from that post position and does a really nice job for us in communicating with our whole defense, whether we're in zone, we're in man. She's very good about, we're at the free throw line talking about, hey, what are we in? Just one of those kids that really knows the game, which brings a lot to the court for us. She's that great leadership position for us because she is a kid who has that experience on the court and has played a lot of basketball. So that's something that we really do look for in that leadership role on top of, trying to defend those post players and really keep us moving and keep us moving forward.
I was originally going to ask Sadie, but we'll still wait for her. We've seen Central Plains do it, maybe Sterling in their run. Defense leads the offense. About 15 steals a night for you guys. How big is it maybe if you're not running good half courts to have that defense to lie back on?
Oh, I think that's a huge part of our game right now. Our defensive pressure is a big part of where we're getting a lot of our points, whether that's in a layup on the other end or maybe just an advantage of a 3-on-2 in a transition. Trying, if you get the steal, that's obviously one less possession that they're getting a shot off. So it's been a big part of our game this year and something we're going to have to continue to rely on because we don't have necessarily the powerhouse all the time in that offensive set, and especially in the half court when people take us out of what we're really wanting to do, it makes it a little tricky. And so if you can kind of get a little bit of that offense going from our defensive side, the ball pressure, or just to fluster the other team, that can be a huge advantage for us and something we're going to have to continue to work for. I thought our guards really did a nice job of getting up in passing lanes last night. Get a finger on the ball here or there, someone else steps up, takes it. If we can go get the layup at the other end, that's big. Sadie is one of those. I think she's averaging, around 5 steals a game right now. And her defense has been something that has grown a lot, especially in these last 3 years. She's a kid. I know a lot of people see the box score and see the points she's averaging, which is huge for us as well. But, her defensive-minded basketball play has been just something I've loved to watch as she's continued to improve on, and something that she's really taken her game to the next level with.
And Sadie, if you're listening on the drive-in, we're going to have to probably go here, but have her back in. I had some questions for her.
Absolutely.
The one that I really wanted to say was, I keep making fun of Steve Webster because it's Sadie, Sadie, Sadie. Now I keep thinking he's just calling all the other girls Sadie. But when you look at her numbers, 16.6 points, 5.6 steals, 5.2 rebounds, 2.4 assists, it does sound like she is indeed everywhere on the court.
She is. She's a very active player and someone that we do build our team around. I think she's a kid that's just always involved, type of a deal. And I think the other side of it is she'll be the first one to tell you is that her teammates matter a lot to her, and kind of playing their role and doing things to help us all be successful. But I think it's kind of trying to understand our personnel, and she's a kid that's a tough matchup for some kids. If they try to guard her with a guard that's a little shorter, we look to post her up and things things like that. But, we're always looking to say what's going to give us our best advantage. So she's very involved, and it's something, though, that we're going to have to continue to grow with and support her with as we continue through the year.
All right, Lady Panthers 4-1. Coach Cindy Beck, good luck against number 3 Emporia Friday night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
More Sports Day after this.
Eldridge has everything for the biggest room at your house.
Hi, this is Wally with Eldridge Fencing. Come see us for your hard-to-buy Christmas presents. We have a large inventory of barbecue accessories, flagpoles, and, of course, fence, deck, and handrail. Come see us today at Eldridge Fencing, 80 East 10th Street, Great Bend.
Turn your own backyard into the best vacation spot you've ever been. Eldridge for the biggest room at your house.
Whether you're fighting a fever or think you need stitches, let the experienced team at the University of Kansas Health System Convenient Care Walk-In Clinic care for you. They can treat any minor illness or injury without an appointment. Hours are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. For quality care when you need it, visit the Convenient Care Walk-In Clinic at St. Rose Medical Pavilion in Great Bend. Learn more at kansashealthsystem.com/Great Bend.
Dr. Dan Quillen at Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Dr. Dan is Martin County's only board-certified clinical specialist in orthopedic physical therapy. No matter your age, when it hurts, he will help. Call Dan at 620-282-4825. That's 282-4825. Excellence-driven, unrivaled results. Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Inside the Fieldhouse at 9th and Madison in Great Bend.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Think you might have ED? Not sure? Well, we'd like to let you in on a little secret. ED is common. About 40% of men experience ED by age 40, but the solution is simple. Find it at 4hims.com.
I didn't have to talk to a doctor in person. There was no copay, and the medication was shipped right to my door in discreet packaging.
Hims took care of it, fast and easy. Now our love life is better than ever.
Get access to doctors online who can prescribe you FDA-approved ED medication if appropriate. The same active ingredient as name brands, but 90% cheaper. Skip the waiting rooms and pharmacy lines. Get a free medical consultation and rise to the occasion or your money back. Go to 4hims.com/joy to get your first visit free. No copay required. The only way to get this special offer is to go to 4hims.com/joy. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Mike Corson's still here for some reason. But now we are joined by Lady Panther basketball junior Sadie Spray. You had us worried there for a little bit.
Finals week, a little stressful.
Got to put school first, but now we're here.
Yeah.
Now she can talk some basketball for a little bit.
And so I write all these jokes ahead of the show, and you made me throw them in the trash. So I was going to start it off just to break the ice. Cindy was here last week, and she's obviously got the live game radio. But kind of fun to have an athlete who has more show experience than the coach. So welcome back.
Thank you.
So what I was going to ask you, we just kind of talked about this. I always think Steve is just calling every other girl on the court Sadie Spray. It's Sadie, Sadie, Sadie. But looking at your numbers, kind of what has your mindset been coming into this season to kind of be so aggressive and so all over the place?
With not having any seniors this year, someone really had to step up as that leader role position. And I think me and Emily have done a pretty good job of doing that, just getting everyone active and involved. And when you love the game, you just want to be a part of it all. So.
And how different is, and that was actually my other question, was such a young team and you're a junior, but somebody has to step in and be a leader. You've played volleyball, you're a state medalist in track. What is the difference because basketball is so active? What's the difference in being a leader in that sport?
I talk a lot more, especially during practice. You always got to be talking, you got to be yelling, you got to be cheering everyone on. And during games, you always have to talk like, hey, I got help, I got man, who do you have, what's going on in the court? There's just so many more aspects that you have to bring into account when you're playing.
And so some of your numbers, 16.6 points, 5.6 steals, 5.2 rebounds, and even some assists in there. What have you done in the offseason to become kind of that workhorse that does a little of everything?
Well, during the summer, I play on an AAU team with Emily, actually, called Wheat State Elite. So we do that over the summer. And then when I'm not doing that or at practice, I'm usually at the field house getting shots up and just working on my game.
She's an active kid. Active kid for sure. You know, I think these kids are asked to do a lot, especially through the summer, you know, especially a multi-sport athlete. And I think that the group of girls we have in the high school right now do a really nice job of committing as much as they can to as many sports as they can.
I've just been passed a question. How hard was it to give up dancing?
You know, I know where my heart lies, so I think...
I think she found a good spot to settle in on. Not that I know anything about her dance moves, but I know her skills on the basketball court are definitely paying off.
Yeah.
So you guys are 4-1, but obviously probably by far the biggest test of the year, number 3 Emporia. It's a 5A school coming to town. So, A, how fun to have them on your home court for a big game like that? And then what's your mindset approaching your biggest game so far?
You know, I'm actually really excited because last year, I think last time we played them at home, we only lost by 2, and they lost their better shooter, Gracie Gilpin. So I think we have an upper hand on that, just knowing their personnel and what we have, and just having such a young team, new bodies, like everyone's in and out, and just running the ball and being active.
I think it's one of the first games in a while, too. I think the pressure is a little bit off our shoulders. You know, them coming in as the number 3 in the state, we are a little more of that underdog, where I feel like, you know, some of the games we've played so far this year, it's been that expectation of, oh, you're bigger, 5A, blah, blah, you know, this and that, to where you've almost had that expectation that we have to just come out and dominate, to where maybe we can kind of settle in and have a little bit of that release stress of that expectation overall.
And I was talking to Coach about 15 steals a game for you guys. So what I like about that as a fan is if my Lady Panthers aren't scoring, maybe the defense is going to kick something up. So many track kids, so many volleyball kids on the team. What is it that group that's just so kind of athletic that leads you guys to do that?
I mean, yeah, all of us are super athletic. We all are 2 or 3 sport athletes. So just having that upper hand and being able to react quicker just helps us because we're a defensive team. We keep teams under their average scoring. So that helps a lot, too.
Lady Panther Jr. Sadie Spray, we thank you for making it in.
Thank you. Thanks for holding me up.
Good luck Friday against Emporia. Lady Panthers are at home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
More Sports Day after this.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB Great Bend and 95.5 FM K238CK Hoisington.
Let technology bring you closer this holiday season to loved ones near and far. With unlimited data as low as $25 a month, you can get the phone you want with the features you need from the best people. Next Tech Wireless, keeping Kansans connected.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction. They have quite a few jobs scheduled for the new year, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
Learn the skills you need to get started in a new career in as little as 1 semester with Barton Community College's workforce training programs. Get real-world experience in fields like carpentry, natural gas, plumbing, scales tech, and welding. You can earn money while you go to school because most classes leave you with plenty of time for a part-time job or apprenticeship. Classes begin January 10th. Sign up today and start your new career. Visit GoBarton.com to get started.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
You know, I love live radio. You know, if it's going out the front of the radio station and telling Sadie Spray to hurry and run as fast as she can so she can get in here, to seeing Mike Corson have to go to a break This is, I love it. And then at the same time, make a phone call to John Baetz. Say, hey, okay, John, we're going to be running a little bit late here. And now John Baetz is with us. This is a smooth running operation, my friend.
I like it. It's I like doing live radio too. There's not scripted, and you don't have to go back and edit. you just put it up there, and people can take it or leave it.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. I am sitting here holding in my hand Kansas pregame, Volume 5, 2022, the Pride of the Prairie, the winter edition with basketball, wrestling. Congratulations, John Baetz. You put out another nice-looking magazine.
Thank you. It's a ton of work, and we got the hard copies out later than we would have liked to, but it's a very busy time for the printer, and it's just there's some logistical challenges. But I really want to get it out, the hard copy out sooner, and it makes it hard. That crossover season is difficult, and Thanksgiving makes it a challenge, and also the fact that the holiday time frame is just incredibly busy for the printer. But great photos by Heather Kendall, Heather Kendall Photography out of Minneapolis. Great writing by Keegan McCulloch, and also Brian Thomas out of Southeast Kansas contributed a little bit, and Connor Nickel did an article for us. Again, it's been a couple issues since he's done anything for us since I employed somebody full time. So a lot of people that contribute to it. Everett Royer's got a lot of photos in there. It's almost a community effort, but we did some things differently with paper quality. I mean, costs have just skyrocketed, so I don't know if the average person will notice it, but there's not gloss on the cover. It's more of a matte finish, and the paper stock inside is just a little bit different. But I really don't want to raise sponsor prices. We've reduced the hard copy distribution just a little bit because I just really like the price point that I'm at, and I still want it to be accessible for small town mom and pop businesses. But love doing it, and obviously the new lion enclosure, the Pride of the Prairie exhibit at Rolling Hills Zoo makes for a pretty incredible backdrop as well.
Yeah, exactly. So why did you go to Rolling Hills? You've been thinking about that a while?
Well, they've been a partner. We actually have a relationship with Visit Salina and Rolling Hills Zoo, and we've done several different shoots at Rolling Hills, and then alternated it around different people, around different entities in Salina. Certainly the proximity for me is a huge deal, but also I really like that it's the center of the state. So, a kid coming from Liberal or a kid coming from Chanute or St. Francis or wherever, they don't have to. We did a photo shoot at Fort Scott about 5 years ago, and there was a kid from Elkhart on the cover, and it'd have been closer for him to drive to Los Angeles than it would have been for him to drive to Fort Scott. But so we've tried to be kind of in the center of the state. And this exhibit, this Pride of the Prairie exhibit, is brand new. I think it opened in August, and so it made for a neat way to spotlight something that the sponsor has that people need to see. Frankly, it's a really cool and special thing in the state of Kansas.
Well, either that or, having to go from Elkhart to Fort Scott, either that or a first-round matchup in the 6A playoffs, right? Lord's Free State at Garden City or something like that.
Yeah, right.
John Baetz with us. And, again, I know that you're a perfectionist, but I'm looking at it right now. I think it's just pretty awesome. Here in Great Bend, Advanced Therapy and Sports Medicine, Kevin Sapisi, saw him last night, and the Field House and at your local Pizza Hut is where you can get one of these free copies right now. So.
We actually don't have Pizza Hut.
Okay. Sorry.
In Great Bend for the winter issue. But
okay.
They will. They've said they will be back, but we don't have for the winter issue. But Nix Tech Wireless, longtime sponsor, so Nix Tech Wireless there has some copies.
Oh, they've got some too. Okay.
And C&E Doors also.
Okay, let's see. So let's see. I lost you one, lost me two. So okay, I'm just trying to. John, the basketball season is underway. So already, just some thoughts about what you've seen maybe early in the season. I know, pre-Christmas basketball sometimes it's kind of easy to kind of sweep away, but maybe some impressions you have here early in the year.
I knew this would be the route you'd go, so I was thinking about it. And one of the things that I think about the state of Kansas that I don't know if the Midwest, knows is we have really great girls basketball.
Oh man,
and really great. I was just talking to Skylar Pierce, who plays basketball for Olathe Northwest, but she is a volleyball player. She's going to play volleyball at the University of Nebraska. And Brooklyn DeLay at Washburn Rural, great basketball player, but she's going to play volleyball at Kentucky. I wish we had the time and the resources to do a volleyball publication, because volleyball might be the best sport statewide in terms of the overall quality of the teams and players, but girls basketball is right there. Like, if you haven't seen Taryn Sides from Phillipsburg play before, she is Jackie Stiles, Emily Ryan type of player. Her crossover is as wicked as any boy that you will see play out there. And in Western Kansas this year, with Goodland and Hugoton and Hayes, this Hayes team with the Lang girl that looks like they're really outstanding, and Western Athletic Conference girls as a whole, there's just a lot of really great girls basketball. And that's not to take anything away from the boys. The reality is that girls get slighted with press coverage of sports. I mean, there's a history of that. It's not, they always play early. There's always less people at their games. There's those kind of factors. So it's important. I think it's important to talk about them and talk about the quality from top to bottom. And think about the fact that we have former Hoxie coach Shelley Hoyt that is in Eureka, and she has a great team down there with the Singate sisters. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce her last name or not. And her daughter is the head coach at Oklahoma State University. And one of her other daughters is her assistant. I mean, that is as good a basketball as you get anywhere in the country. So I guess my first impression is girls basketball in the state of Kansas is dang good, and we need to be talking about it a lot.
Yeah, and you look at Phillipsburg Sides, they get the Skemper girl back, who's a really good volleyball player, and she didn't play last year. There's, she's got adds height to that team, and yeah, we've seen, they handled Central Plains pretty good at Russell.
And she's going to play volleyball at Washburn. I mean, and that's the other thing. Think about the MIAA volleyball and basketball teams, the girls' side especially. They are loaded with former standout small-town Kansas girls. I mean, the girl from Spearville, I can't remember her name, but she plays for Emporia State, is an outstanding player. I realize Liberal's a sizable community, but Katie Hornaya, or if that's the correct pronunciation, she transferred from Abilene Christian to Emporia State. I mean, there's just great. You've got girls from Mays South and Andover Central on the Fort Hays team. You've got a girl from Wabaunsee on the Washburn team. There's just a lot of really good girls athletics, and we need to shout it from the mountaintops.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're shouting today. That's good and that's one of the things you look that Hutchinson has done for a long time, and now Alan Clark at Barton Community College has kind of tapped into that too. The in-state kids that he has around here. In fact, we have a player, and I don't think you know where this town's at. I bet you don't know where Cedar is, do you?
I know Cedar well. Okay. Right down the road from Gaylord, which used to be home to the annual watermelon celebration. I'm so sad. I was so disappointed when they stopped doing the watermelon celebration on Labor Day weekend at Gaylord. But yes, I'm familiar with Cedar.
Yeah, and so there's and those kids can stay here and heck, they've got Cunningham on their roster and they've got a nice team this year. So John Baetz joining us here on the program. Kansas pregame here with us today. And then how do you pick the players this year? I mean, is that something that you get recommendations, or that's a nice collection of players you have? They're led by Britton Dutton right there on the cover.
Yeah, it's not a science. I keep a list of players that I'm watching all along, and usually, like Britton Dutton, for example, is a kid that just left right off the page as a freshman, and was a double-digit scorer right away, and you could see that he was somebody, and helped Ellenwood have extremely successful basketball seasons from early in his career, and so I look for those kids, watch them over the course of their career. I do a social media share and say, hey, tell us about kids. I look at the Kansas Basketball Coaches Association All-State team and the Sports in Kansas All-State teams and see who's coming back, those kind of things. But it's not a science. My primary thing is I want to make sure that there are athletes from every classification. And then now I'm trying to also do a nice job of balancing the boys and girls wrestling coverage, because, girls wrestling has just exploded on the scene, like tripled in size in just 3 seasons or something along those lines. And so we put together a list of kids that we'd like to have. And then as you can imagine, it's a logistical nightmare. I do an email to all the coaches of kids that we'd like to invite and say, hey, we'd like to invite your kid. Here's the date that we're looking at, or a couple dates that we're looking at. And they get back to us and let us know whether that'll work for them. Then we do a mass email to all the parents. It almost always works. The kids almost always make it work. I like to say I have only been big-timed once in nearly 20 years of doing this. And there was a kid that made a commitment, and he got an invite to some event out in New Jersey and just bailed on me. But we're talking about hundreds of kids now that we've included in these features, and that's the only time I've had what I would call a negative experience with something like this. The kids are always really excited, and I'm always shocked. It doesn't matter. The largest 6A school or the smallest 1A school, they are always equally excited about being part of it. And it's so much fun to get them all together, where these small school kids and big school kids may not ever get a chance to interact, even though a lot of them play summer ball against each other. And on the football field, the kids never get a chance to interact. So the smallest 8-man school kid doesn't. This is the only setting where they're going to be together with the biggest 6-man school kid, and so those kind of things make it a really fun experience.
Well, you're from Smith Center, so I always got to ask these questions up there, because I had the opportunity to officiate up at Thunder Ridge High School. Okay. And now I'm sitting here looking for his name right now because I can't remember. He's been at the school since 1964. Do you know what I'm talking about? Don Weens. Don Weens, yes.
Yep.
And it was really cool because we were asking him, so when did Kensington go? They had a proud 11-man history, I guess. And it was just really neat to see up there. They do need some new lights at their football field, I will say that. But man, since 1964, man, he's still a spry dude. Don Weens.
I did an interview with him a few years back for the Nix Tech Wireless supporting cast that we do, and we won't see people do what he has done for as long as he's done it going forward. And we see that in coaching, but that's the kind of guy that he might have to go to the NPL league meeting, and he might have to work on a schedule. And between a basketball game, you might see him hustling around with a broom, sweeping up the floor.
Yes.
At a basketball game, he might have to drive a group of kids in a bus. That's amazing. Jude Steckline's another guy like that at Sylvan Lucas that just retired after last year. That was 40 some years that he was at Sylvan Unified. It's really one negative about it that not having the long-term tenure anymore, I think, is parents are not
Yeah, that was a great, and he plus got us good food after the game too, so that was really important since the Kensington Sonic Drive-In was the Rusty Nail. I mean, have you been there? The Rusty Nail. No, the Rusty Tractor.
The Rusty Tractor. Yes. I haven't ever been there.
Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, check it out next time you're in Kensington. The Rusty Tractor.
I did buy my first car in Kensington, Kansas, which a 1985 Camaro that was sold there at the what's the name of that? Rust. The Rust family has owned it, and I actually sold my baseball card collection to buy my first vehicle.
Gee, many Christmas. That either was a crappy vehicle or a really good baseball card collection.
I think it was a little bit of both. Okay. And somebody asked me, I recently started getting back into collecting, and somebody asked me the other day whether I would rather have the 1985 Camaro or the baseball card collection. And in all seriousness, I don't regret selling my card collection to buy the car, but I could probably buy about 6 of those 1985 Camaros if I had that baseball card collection right now.
All right, John, I'm going to let you run. Congratulations on another great publication. We'll hook up with you sometime in 2023. Appreciate it.
Yeah, KansasPregame.com, list of all the locations where you can pick up a free hard copy or you can read it online. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Okay, John Baetz with us here on Sports Day.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a really big tree near your garage. Now, I'm a really big tree on your garage and car. And if you don't have the right insurance, the cost to fix this could leave you wishing money grew on trees. So bundle your home and auto with Allstate to save up to 25% and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Auto prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Think you might have ED? Not sure? Well, we'd like to let you in on a little secret. ED is common. About 40% of men experience ED by age 40, but the solution is simple. Find it at 4hims.com.
I didn't have to talk to a doctor in person. There was no copay, and the medication was shipped right to my door in discreet packaging.
Hims took care of it, fast and easy. Now our love life is better than ever.
Get access to doctors online who can prescribe you FDA-approved ED medication if appropriate. The same active ingredient as name brands, but 90% cheaper. Skip the waiting rooms and pharmacy lines. Get a free medical consultation and rise to the occasion or your money back. Go to 4hims.com/joy to get your first visit free. No copay required. The only way to get this special offer is to go to 4hims.com/joy. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
I'm telling you, Hess, I just love live radio.
I was thinking the same thing. That's what makes it all fun. I mean, we knew before going into the show it was going to be chaos just by the way we were acting.
Well, that's true. But we have level chaos. Oh, yeah, good show getting that done here today. That was excellent. So
I'm glad Sadie Spray made it in.
You know, she's pretty fast.
Yeah?
I mean, she parked over there across the street, and I was going to say hurry, and it's like she was here.
Well, she's also, 17?
And the other thing was impressive. She came right back in and started talking on the radio. If you would have sprinted from across the street up the stairs. Yeah, exactly. It'd have been pushed to the end of the show.
We had to get the oxygen tank out.
That was a good show today, and appreciate John Baetz coming in. I'm sure Gerard will talk to us.
Maybe,
yeah. He's got 2. Anyway, we're back. Oh, you're not here tomorrow. Why are you taking vacation days? That's open.
Okay, from the man who just. And you're going to be gone 2 weeks next June, too.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be 3, Mike. Enjoy your day tomorrow. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Sports.